Hey everyone, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, whatever time zone you are in the world. Welcome to the BU interview with me, Jennifer Beaumont-White, and my special guest, Mervyn Barrett, the inevitability coach, who is going to be talking to us about his journey into entrepreneurship and the challenges and prizes of doing it his way, plus giving us a flavor of what he does best for the world right now. Mervyn has come from a background of inspiring children in schools across London as head of mathematics by focusing on changing their attitude to maths and learning and achieving great success. And now he's changing adults' lives as a motivational speaker and coach with his unique 4 pillars of personal development, which is the topic we're going to be talking about today. We'll be delving into his story in a while. And if you haven't met me before, I'm known as the emotional freedom specialist, and I'm an intuitive business coach. My mission is to help my people to achieve their heart's most wanted desires, help them move from being stuck to being irresistible, and move them from fear to love, and gain the confidence to make the world a better place by doing what they love. First, I'd like to ask you a big, huge favor to leave a comment below to encourage us to share our work in the world. And if you have any questions for both Mervyn and myself, we'd love you to leave your questions there, and we'd be back to answer them in the comments as well. Please share and spread so that others can gain and learn some benefit from our conversation, which is going to be amazing because Mervyn's got a really, he's got such a vivacious and motivational style about himself, and he's just full of beans. And most important, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more interviews, information, and inspiration to help you be the best version of you and keep on doing what you love, because you are beautiful and unique, and the world needs what you have to offer right now. Talking of which, welcome Mervyn, who is beautiful and unique and sharing his gifts with the world. It's an honor to have you here, Mervyn. Welcome.
Thank you, Jennifer. Such a warm, loving, and illustrious welcome. I throw it all straight back at you, my sister. That was awesome. Love
and
it.
I'm catching it. Thank you. Fabulous. So, Mervyn, I'm so inspired by you. I'm so we had a conversation before we set up this interview anyway, because you came into my my Facebook group, Live Love Live Authentic, and you really sort of blew me away with what you were saying. In a minute, you just shifted my thinking. I'm thinking, wow, this guy's got it really going on. Who are you? So I arranged a conversation and asked you to be on this interview. So could you just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you come to be doing what you're doing right now and motivating the world?
Yeah, sure. I'd say I started out being a serial failure.
Ooh.
I was an expert in failing.
Join the club.
Unfortunately, at that point in my life, I didn't understand it. So I couldn't make sense of it. And when you can't make sense of something, there's very little that you can do about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anything in life, when we say, I don't know what I'm doing, we feel that as a physical manifestation. Those thoughts create the feeling of don't know what you're doing. Yeah. Tension, worry, doubt, and it all coalesced. So every time I failed, I wasn't looking at what happened. I was just looking at me being a failure.
Yeah, and looking at the result. Yeah. And then getting more of that result, because your thoughts create your feelings, create your behavior, create your result, creates your thoughts. The classic that what we know. Yeah.
And having done that for many a year, I suddenly recognized, and at the same time, because I was in teaching, and it has the perception, and it's a great and noble career. I'm not knocking it. It's an awesome profession to have the ability to impact the next generation of young children and see them through to adulthood. It was brilliant. It didn't quite fill all my needs. And that at the time was the hole that I couldn't fill. And failure fed into that. I'm not being fulfilled. And, push came to shove. Many years after many years of failing, suddenly waking up to, and I say suddenly, it was people directing me, things that people do. Like my wife sent me on a course in something called NLP, Neuro
Yeah.
Linguistic Programming.
Yeah. I use that.
Course.
Yeah.
It,
Beautiful.
it shocked me that
Yeah.
my thinking, I could do something about my thinking.
Yeah.
I was so shocked. It was like, oh, so you mean the way that I'm thinking is down to me?
Mm-hmm.
Blew me away. Totally
Yeah.
blew me away.
And you have a choice in that thinking as well. You know, it's like we have the power over our own mind. Yeah, and we
Yes.
don't realize. It's like in the Bible, it says we're given free will, you know, and the free will, the gift of free will that we've been given, all stems on what we think and what we choose to think. So yeah.
Yeah. There's I can't remember the exact verse, but
Mm.
it talks about choosing life, and it says something like, I stand before you as a witness
Mm-hmm.
to the fact that you have the choice of life or death.
Yes.
Choose life so
Yeah.
that you and your descendants might live. I
Yes.
mean, choose life.
Yeah.
And oftentimes we don't realize, especially with our brain will always keep us safe. So it
Yes.
will choose what it thinks is safety, which unfortunately, for the
Yeah.
vast majority of the time, is death.
Yeah.
Not a physical one, but a spiritual one, a
Yes.
psychological one, an emotional one,
Yeah.
which of course leads to that slow expiration date.
Yeah.
So when we actually get to the point where we do expire,
Mm-hmm.
just before we get there, we look back and think, is this all there is to it?
Yeah.
Or I could have done that, or I should have had more relationships. I
Yeah.
should have kept those friends. I shouldn't have been in the office so often. All those questions that suddenly
Yeah. Yeah.
happen when you
Exactly.
realize, actually, I had a choice.
Yeah, you get a
It was
choice to live. You haven't lived when if you haven't. And the thing I've just there's been this statistics about old people on their deathbed, like who were asked what was their one regret. Just before they were dying, they're asked this question, and the answer has been, I didn't take risks. I didn't take enough risks. I didn't go for what I wanted.
Yeah.
You know,
I wish I'd be myself more.
yeah, exactly,
I mean,
exactly,
wow.
and that's the risk that we take, is to be ourselves more. Because
Yeah.
if you think about it, we're coming, well, you know yourself, coming through the school system, we're made to fit into a certain box, okay, to hit certain targets, to be a certain way, and if we don't,
Conditioning.
yeah, and that's right. And if you're not, then you're ostracized. You're different. You're not one of us, kind of thing. So if you imagine going through life thinking, well, I really am going to hang on to being me, and being ostracized, and the challenges that come with that, or playing the game and being part of the group and being normal, mediocre like everybody else, and not being fulfilled. You know, there's there's good and bad on both sides. But at the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, the choice is, did we fulfill what God wanted us to do and take the risk and live life? You know, it's and then that's what we're here for, to fulfill our dharma, fulfill our purpose, and to serve humanity. And in so doing, we have to be able to take that risk and, you know, shift our thinking. And that's what you're going to tell us about today, aren't you? You're going to talk to us about your 4 pillars of personal development, which you really help people to shift their thinking and their mindset.
Yes. Yeah. There for the personal development
Mm-hmm.
is all about the art of self-discovery. So, and I really, and I use the word art intentionally,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, the way that I'm using that word, of course, is that art is very subjective. You know, they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
But because we're also incredibly unique, you get to be the artist of your own self-discovery.
Wow.
Only you know what suits you best, most
Mhm.
effectively.
I love
Now,
that. I love that, using the word artist of your own self-discovery. That's the
yeah,
best. That's it. It's just you're painting your own picture.
if you look at tiny little babies and small children, they're like artists. The
Mm.
way they live life is like an art form. They're not conditioned. They're in that beginning, that the process of conditioning is beginning,
Mm-hmm.
but at that stage, they're not conditioned. So they
The blank
can do
canvas.
anything. They
Yeah.
can think anything.
Yeah.
And the tools that I use, the personal development tools, which underpin the art of self-discovery, those personal development tools allow you to get back to that stage where you were completely unique and recognize. You didn't recognize that as something to beat your chest over and say, I'm so unique. You just were unique. It
Yeah,
didn't make sense to you to not be anybody but yourself.
exactly.
We were just awesome. And we didn't recognize awesome as being anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Everything's awesome. We're all awesome, aren't we?
Yes.
And,
In the what's the book? The A Course in Miracles. It says we are all special, but none of us are more special than anybody else. I'm
exactly.
paraphrasing, but it's like, yeah, we're all special, but none of us are more special. So yeah, that's exactly it. We're really amazing beings, all of us. Yeah.
And then the thing is, when you get to that place, it's genuine, it's authentic. You really feel you.
So before you get into the 4 pillars, right? How did you actually get to the point of knowing that it was the authentic you? How do you know? How did it was that you needed to get back to that place, or how did you find yourself back at that place? Finding the authentic you and knowing that was the thing to go for.
Awesome question. And to be honest with you, the way that I view life now, I don't believe. In fact, I know for a fact I will never ever get to that truly authentic me ever. It's a journey. And it's about discovering yourself on the way, which is the beauty of choosing life.
Yes.
Because the good and the bad suddenly lose all their importance.
Yes.
And what does become important is just you being who you are in the circumstance, in the situation. So you stop judging so much and saying, this is a bad situation that I'm in, and start just looking at the situation that I'm in.
What it is. It's just that's it. So how do I act from this point going forward?
Exactly.
Think from this point going forward. Yeah.
Yeah. There's I think it's Louise Hay wrote a book called You Can Heal Your Life.
Yeah,
and
that was my Bible. My Bible from the 90s.
She said the point of power is always in the present moment.
Yeah.
It's always there's no past power. There's no future power that is more powerful than the power of the present moment.
Absolutely.
None. Primarily because they don't exist. But
exactly, they don't exist in the first place. You can only create from going forward from this point now. The past you can't change anyway, and unless you're, like part of some government society where you can change the history and change the words in, but we ain't going to go there. Yeah. but right now we cannot affect the past. We can only affect the future, and we create that. Yeah.
What we don't realize, though, as I sort of alluded to, is the judgments that we have of good and bad. They infect and affect our past and our future, and they also have the potential to disturb our present.
Okay.
When you're sitting there and saying, my life is good, you're going to feel, hopefully some nice feelings inside, some warm feelings, some fuzzy feelings. And what you're looking at, are you looking at the present moment of your life, or are you looking at the past of your life? It's that judgment about what is good right now.
Yeah.
Because then, if it's good right now, are you wealthy? Are you poor? Is there a nail hanging out of your finger which is causing pain? Or is nothing paining you right now? What is it that you mean when you say my life is good? As opposed to, and we all know what we mean when we say my life is bad, whether it's right now or in the past.
Yeah.
My life is good. What is that?
What does it mean?
That's good. How is it good? Why is it good? And why does it have to be good? Because it's like this. It could change in an instant.
So what you're saying is that there should be no judgment. Just be.
If living with judgments, I look at it like it's almost like you become, and I covered this in one of my posts, an extremist in your own mind, because you are living between two extremes. If there's good, then what's the opposite of good?
Bad, of course. So then
If
bad
there's
must
right,
exist. Yeah.
if there's right, what's the opposite of right?
Yeah, wrong. Yeah.
Yep. Black.
White.
Yeah. Guilty.
Innocent. Innocent.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, on, off.
Yeah, yeah.
All of what we don't recognize is, as soon as we get a little in our brain, as soon as the brain senses the tiniest smidgen of tension, we tend to go extreme. And if I'm good, therefore, by default, you must be bad.
Oh, we have lost. Oh, let's see if we can get him back. Pause recording. Okay, so we're resuming the recording, and we just had a touch of Mercury retrograde happen with us, because Mercury, being the planet that is currently appearing to go backwards in the sky, and during this period of time when Mercury is a winged messenger, so anything to do with communication, Wi-Fi, telecoms, trains, planes, written or verbal communication, anything to do with getting from one place to another or communicating, tends to go a bit skew-iff. So we just had a breakdown with the recording, so we're back again. And during this time, we're supposed to be sitting back and reflecting and looking at what worked in the past, and what has worked, what's worked and what's not working in the past, and just realigning our thoughts and then going forward and excelling forward. So it really comes on point, as Mervyn was just saying, it comes on point with Mervyn's talk and take on judgment. So if you'd like to continue with that, Mervyn, so we can get your what you're talking about with judgment.
Yeah.
And then we can go into the 4 pillars as well. So
classic.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that at the heart of everything we do, in terms of whether we stand still, move forwards, or go backwards, there's a judgment. And sometimes it plays itself off like it's an assessment. It's I'm just explaining to you this particular situation.
Okay.
Because of the maybe merits of it. Let me explain to what I mean. When we go back and look at something that didn't work in the past, if we say the reason it didn't work was because I am somehow deficient. Now, how do you say that to yourself? Are you saying it like you're attacking yourself, or are you saying it like you are observing yourself? Because, and it may not seem like there's much of a difference, but to you, first of all, you're an expert in you. Nobody can know you better than you, speak to you better than you. Nobody. Not your mum, your dad, your aunt, your uncle. Nobody knows you outside of the Creator. Nobody knows you better than you. So when you say the words, I failed at that thing, you know exactly, specifically, precisely what you mean and the feelings that it creates for you. And most of the time, when we're in judgment, we don't feel good about what we've said.
Yeah.
If we are in observation, or if you like, revelation, then we, at the very least, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to stop you from feeling the way you feel, but you get an opportunity, and it's only an opportunity, to actually stop and look at what you did as a revelation, as something being revealed to you, as opposed to condemnation, where that's something that you're looking at as an action or an act that is harmful to you. In revelation, it's not so likely to harm you as it is if it's in condemnation.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's like playing the victim in this situation, from what I'm understanding, playing the victim of this, like, wow, this is it's all my fault, and it's all down to me, and I made it happen, as opposed to saying, okay, this is really interesting. So what can I learn from this situation instead? So, and then you know, one, and you sort of die. Your spirit dies from the other.
Listen, even there, you can say the same sentence.
Yeah.
I could say, I failed at that thing, and you can hear the venom in my voice.
Mm-hmm.
That's an attack.
Yeah.
I could have said, I failed at that thing, or I failed at that thing. I've taken the edge out of it, the edge off of it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between condemnation and revelation. In revelation, we can say the exact same sentence, but we're looking for, what can I learn? What can I get? We don't even have to say to ourselves, what can I learn from this? What did I get?
Yeah.
You just change the tone of your voice, and you change.
And you feel. Yeah.
Once you change that trajectory, because, you know, like on an aircraft, it's heading on a certain trajectory. It's either going up, or down, or going straight ahead. Yeah. And it's going down. There's a certain amount of there's a direction in which it's going, and there's a certain amount of leeway either side of that trajectory, but it's still going in that downward trajectory. And the same thing happens with us when we are in our negative thoughts, or when we're in our judgments of ourselves. The trajectory will only open up so much. Yeah. In fact, it's more likely that what happens, because of the way our brain works, is that we narrow and focus in on the thing that is causing the pain. And if you are the thing that's causing the pain, you're going to be in real pain. Because you have to blame yourself. You have to be in judgment of yourself. You close doors. Whereas when you are opening that door by just asking the question, I failed at this. It means there's a sliver of a glimmer of light as the door cracks open. Yeah. You'll be able to pull that door open and walk through. Yeah. So you're more open.
That's beautiful.
As opposed to being more closed.
That is so beautiful. That so beautiful.
Is part of the art of self-discovery. You've got to discover that about yourself. Nobody can help you. Well, nobody can tell you that better, Jen, than you can tell yourself. Nobody.
Absolutely.
So it's an art form.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is how the difference between maybe mentoring and counseling is different from coaching, because coaching is all about asking questions, because you have the answer. You know, your coach will come and, you know, ask really powerful questions that they're trained to ask in a certain way, and pull out those answers from you, go deeper and deeper until you find that real core answer. And then
I look at it like this. I look at it like this. I just, because I saw this, just as you said, I saw it the other day. The real difference between coaching and all the other therapies is that, you know, the talking, because they all, basically, we're all called talking therapies. Now, but the word therapy is to do with healing. And it, particularly in a medical sense, whereas I look at coaching as a practice. So you've got to practice this. It's not a therapy. You're not going to lie on a couch and say, well, when I was 5, it's not that we don't talk about the past, but the way we talk about the past isn't in the same way that a therapist would analyze and pick and probe and what did you feel and how do you feel? We get you to practice.
It's all very pragmatic, practical. And it's very and
we take you from where you are to where you want to
where you want to be. And it's not about fixing anybody. We don't do any fixing. The person's already fixed. It's just, and they're inspired. They just need some help to move forward. We just want to, you know, I'm really inspired. I really want to do this thing. I'm really fed up with where I'm at. I want to move forward. I want to move from this situation. And the coach will help you to move forward, step forward, step forward.
Well, I help people.
Go on.
I help people to help themselves to ask that question. those questions that will lead them to open themselves up.
Absolutely.
Because we know if the questions that we ask ourselves are everything. The statements that we make are like questions. So give me the example. If I say, why am I so rubbish at this? My brain is designed to give me an answer.
Yeah.
Now, when I ask that question, why am I so rubbish? I'm looking for a solution. That's not the job of the brain. The brain will give you an answer. So when I say, why am I so rubbish? My brain has to go, let me see now. Well, when you were 5, your mum told you dropped on your head. That's why it's so rubbish. And when you were 6, you were in that classroom and you got the answer wrong and everybody laughed at you. That's why it's so rubbish. At 15, your girlfriend left you. That's why it's so rubbish. And by the way, you keep telling yourself you're so rubbish. That's why it's so rubbish. And it
So
does that in an instant without you even thinking.
Yeah, it's a microsecond.
Library of evidence the brain has to bring to give you an answer.
Exactly.
Now, if I said, what do I need to do to be smarter? Instead of why am I so dumb, what do I need to do to be smarter? Can my brain go back and say to me, well, when you were 5, you were dropped on your head, and that's why you're rubbish.
It makes no sense as an answer. Yeah.
Exactly. Even if you say, well, I don't know, it's better to be in a state of I don't know, because then you can be open to anything, as opposed to a state of knowing that this evidence, which is not, it's not just in your head, it's in your heart. You feel it like a physical presence. That when I was 5, I dropped on my head and my mum said I was dumb or I was stupid. You feel that. You don't just think. And so having that as an answer absolutely compounds how you're thinking and feeling.
Absolutely.
Say, well, what could I do that would make me smarter? At the very least, you will not go back there. At the very least, you'll stay where you are. You might say, well, I don't know, but you'll stay in the present. You're more likely to stay in the present than you are to, because nothing's guaranteed. There's no guarantee to anything in life, and that's the beauty of it. It can change in a minute, in an instant, and we have all the power to create that change.
To do that,
so I help people to get to those questions for themselves. When you get
what we do is coaching, all questioning. So can you just outline your 4 pillars?
All day.
You get so passionate, you do, and this is the thing that I like draw me to you. It's like, oh, this guy's passionate about what he's doing. It's like you match my passion with coaching. It's like, oh my God, I really want to inspire people to change the world, because we really do need people like us and other people to say, hey, you know what, there is a better way. There is a much better way to operate and to be in this world and share our love and touch people, and they share their love. And, once they feel good, they'll always remember you. And then they share that love throughout the world. And eventually the world will be an amazing place. So again, not that it's not amazing, but it's like there's elements that need adjusting. So with your 4 pillars of personal development, tell us how you've come about them and what they are.
Okay, so because I think in your introduction to me, which was very eloquent and very nice, you said they were unique, and they're not unique. Everybody in the world knows of the existence of these things. I'm not taking anything that is, if you like, an original thought. Nothing is original. It's all been thought of before, but I've just sort of fused them together in this particular way. I've structured them in this way. And
well, that's the unique bit. That's the unique bit. It's yours. Okay. You made it yours. And so
I'll let that in. That was good.
Yeah. Because really there is nothing new. Everything that's invented has always come from a source of something, but the way you package it and the way you deliver it and the way that you make it yours is what we're talking about here. So fantastic. So
the first pillar is thinking. Most people have no clue. They just don't get how they think. And just understanding how you think can do so much for you in terms of releasing you from your thoughts. Again, it's that the old adage, I don't know what I'm doing. When I started teaching, I could see the stress and the tension in the children, and also more so when I taught adults mathematics. Really,
Okay.
but once you give them the formula and they get the steps that you need to take in the formula, they relax. Like,
Yeah.
now I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Same thing with our thoughts. Our thoughts are patterns. We're patternistic by nature, right? Day follows what?
Night.
Night, which follows day, which
Day.
follows
Yeah.
night. If you look at the seasons, there's a pattern to it. We don't go from summer to winter. Summer, spring, winter, autumn, summer, spring, round and round in a pattern. Everything about us is like that, particularly our thought life. It's patternistic. If you get the formula that creates the pattern, then you don't need to keep railing against the formula. You can now just say, it's the way I'm thinking. So if I put something into this pattern that will give me more strength, more courage, more confidence, more love, more passion, then I'll get more of the same out. Recognize what you're putting into your formula is disempowering you. Then you can start to put stuff into your formula that will empower you. But you've got to recognize there are patterns of thoughts. We are the only creatures that we know of that have the ability to stand outside of our thinking. They call it metacognition.
Yeah.
You know, the ability to think about your thinking.
Yeah.
So, an example, I'm angry. Yes, you're thinking that you're angry. If I say to you, what are you angry about? Now you've got to start thinking about the thinking. Okay, so you're angry about the person said that or this. Is it true? That's one aspect of it. So to question the validity of what the person said to you. But also there are some physical manifestations, some physiological manifestations that take place when you say, I'm angry.
Yeah.
And where is that anger in you? What do you mean, where is it in me? When you ask the question, when you answer the question like that, you're just stuck in your thinking. But when you say, oh, my chest is tightening, and I can feel my nostrils flaring, and my head is pumping, and I can feel my veins beginning to stick out of my neck, and my hands are balling into a fist and unclenching and clenching my teeth, and you get all of that. And then I say to you, okay, have you ever felt like that before? Well, yeah. When? The last time I was angry, and the time I was angry before. I say, think of something that will happen in the future where somebody insults you and you're angry. How are you going to feel? Well, same. How are you going to feel physiologically? The same way. And then hopefully you begin to recognize, so there's the process of anger and there's the content of anger. The content is the stuff that's going on in your head. The process is the stuff that's going on in your body. You can interrupt, intervene, and interfere with either of those. That gives you power.
And that breaks the power.
Thinking, exactly.
Yeah.
Thinking, getting the way you think. If you know, when somebody says to me, I don't know what I'm doing, I know immediately. It's not that you don't know what you're doing, you don't get yourself enough. You don't understand yourself enough. You don't recognize the way you're thinking enough. If you did, and you didn't like what you were doing, you'd be able to stop doing it. And if you did like it, you'd do it even more, better, faster, quicker. You'd enhance it.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I'm doing. Simply, to me, that's a brilliant window. Okay, so let's have a look at what you're doing and how you're doing it. And I always look at why and how before anything else. Why you're doing it and how you're doing it. If you get the why and the how, you know what? Those other words like where, when,
who,
what, they just fall into place.
Yeah.
It's the why and the how. And thinking will give you why. When you know why you think a certain way and how you think a certain way, then you get an opportunity. And I keep going on about opportunity because nothing is guaranteed, Jen.
Yeah.
But you get an opportunity to impact your life in the way that you want to impact it. Why and how you do a thing.
Yeah.
So thinking, powerful skill. Powerful.
Fantastic. So that's your first pillar.
Yes.
The second pillar.
The brain. Oh my goodness, the brain. Just knowing. I was listening to a coach, David Rock, and he such a profound, simple but profound statement. He said, knowing about the brain changes everything. And I went, wow, I need to know about the brain.
Yeah, yeah.
The more you know about the brain, like a generalized model of how the brain works, the more you know about the brain, the more you get to know about your brain. And the more you get to know about your brain, the more you get to know about yourself. And the more you get to know about yourself, the closer you get to the authentic, genuine, real deal you. You get to that place. You move towards it. So the brain is a really, really powerful device. Most people don't recognize, of course, that it's basically one of its basic functions is to keep me alive, to keep you alive. And it will do anything that it gets believes will keep you alive.
Yeah.
Anything.
Designed
just a physical life. It's your full life. It's your emotional life. It's your spiritual life. It's a financial life. It will do anything that it believes will help you to stay alive. So if it is in a place where it believes that smoking crack cocaine will keep you alive, it will do anything to get you to keep smoking crack cocaine.
That's how addictions start. It's all from your mind to keep you safe. It's all about keeping you safe. Yeah. And it's such a subconscious thing.
Yeah. And so that second pillar, again, when you get how you work, when you get how the brain works, you get how your brain works, and you get how you work. When you get how you work, well, you can do what you want then, because you know how you work. You get it.
So this then leads, sorry,
go on.
Yeah, this then leads to the mind-body connection, because you've got the thinking, brain and everything, and it's all, because I believe that there is, within your heart, there are cells that are brain cells in your heart.
Yeah,
so they're not two separate things, they're actually interaction. Yeah.
And there's a big nerve, I think it's called the vagus nerve, that goes from your heart to your brain. Carries a ton of information
up and down.
And I read recently, Bruce Lipton, he said, Professor Bruce Lipton.
Yes, I know him. Yeah.
The Biology of Belief.
Yeah.
Brilliant book.
Yeah.
I mean, awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm an EFT master, so I know about these things. So it's all about mind-body connection. Yeah.
Well, he said that the brain is the only organ in the body that is connected to every single one of the 50 trillion cells. Sorry, not the brain, the heart.
I was going to say,
the only organ in the body that is connected to every single one of the 50 trillion cells that you have inside you.
Yeah.
So imagine.
The heart is actually driving us.
When you feel fear, that reverberates around every single cell, your skin cells, every single cell in your body feels that fear. That's why fear feels so real.
Yeah, and it doesn't exist. It's an illusion. Yeah.
It's a bit, for me, the same thing with love.
Okay.
When you radiate love, you feel it in every single part of your body.
Yeah.
The confusion for many people is that they want love. They want to get love.
Yeah.
Not realizing that you are love.
Absolutely. That is my belief completely. We are love. We're all elements of love around the world. It's just
looking for it in all the wrong places.
And it's not out there. It's within. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and that's what I believe Jesus meant. It's in there. Exactly. And then you have the personality mechanisms.
I kind of personality tools, personality mechanism, personality traits. We are a bunch of personalities. We're not one single personality. Hello? We're not. We are a bunch of, you're not, your personality changes. Yes, it does. You're not a hypocrite if you're personally, you don't speak to your mum the same way you speak to your daughter.
No.
You don't speak to your bank manager the same way you speak to your friend. You
No.
change your personality to deal with these individuals.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're going to go mad.
Yeah.
So you've got to recognize that if you know how personality is built, then if you don't like your personality, you can rebuild it.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. You can rebuild your when you get what the building blocks of personality are, then using the art, again, the art of self-discovery, you can build the personality that you want.
Paint a new canvas, paint a new picture, paint. Yeah, that's so beautiful. That is so beautiful.
Awesome.
So with the teachings that you do, I mean, how do you actually deliver this? Is it all one-to-one coaching? Do you do workshops?
Most of my coaching has hitherto been one-to-one. I'm moving into the realm of team coaching, group coaching, and I ran a seminar this year, and I'm running another one in June.
Yeah.
That's Saturday, 30th of June. And what I've decided to do was just take each of the pillars and look at them in detail. So the first one was all about thinking. I mean, I put up some posts about it. The participants, the attendees grew. They had breakthrough.
Which is what we all want. Yeah.
They came full of stress and left full of hope, full of love, full of confidence, full of power. They were transformed just
with the one
talking about thinking.
Yeah.
So the next one out is about the brain, and I am going to drop some information about the brain.
Yeah.
And when you look at that and you start to say, oh, I recognize that in me.
Yeah.
And then you become okay with that. Then you get an opportunity. And again, it's just an opportunity, but you get an opportunity to transform it, to change it, to make it different, to make it the way you actually want it, instead of it being the way it actually is. Because nothing is fixed.
So you give us the dates so we can actually put them into the comments once.
Yes, yes, definitely.
So there's a series of 4 workshops, and each will build on the next and the next and the next, and then at the end it'll be all like complete. That's a great idea. So have you got a book?
Great, because they're discreet. You can just come along to any. You don't have to attend all 4. You can come any one. But all those who came to the last one want to come to the next one.
Yes,
because they're jazzed, totally jazzed by themselves, and they're thinking. They're now in a place where, wow, if this is possible, if this in my life is possible, knowing one
thing, yes,
me,
yeah,
man, oh man,
what else is possible?
Second one, what else? Who else can I be?
Yeah, amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
The work that we do, and see when people get that breakthrough, when they get that transformation, you see a look in their eyes, and it's like, oh my God, you know that they've got that realization that they can actually do anything they want to achieve.
Yeah.
So
they get themselves.
Yeah. So if you give the date, is there any way that so how can people actually get in touch with you if they want to one-to-one apart from the workshops?
First of all, my telephone number, which I'll give out now, but Jen, I know you're going to put it in the notes anyway. It's 0796 140 6240. That's 0796 140 6240. Call me, book I call it a freedom session, a freedom session.
Yeah.
Because it's an hour's coaching for free, and inside that hour, I guarantee you some freedom from whatever it is that you're dealing with inside the hour.
Fantastic. And is there anything special for our audience? Is this something that's in general that you offer to your potential clients?
Yes, yes. Oh, I'll give you something else there. It's general again. Is that I run a YouTube channel, and
Hmm.
I send out a 60-second or less clip every morning, 5 days a week.
Which is what got you here, because I was just like, whoa, just
What?
60 seconds. And you pack so much in that 60 seconds, it just lifts you up for the day. It's just incredible.
Yeah,
That's
it's.
amazing. So,
I
so
just had some feedback from somebody who connected with me and said that was really powerful, and let's have a coaching session, and I'd like you to be my coach off
yeah,
of the back of those clips.
yeah.
But what he said that really struck me was this: I listen to them all the time. He said, I've just had an incident in my life. I'm not going to go into details of it. I had an
Hmm.
incident in my life, and those clips, I've just been playing them, and they've been helping me to deal with that incident. So
Fantastic.
these are discrete clips. There's
Yeah,
about 17, 18 on there right now, and
yeah,
it's growing every day. Don't listen to it once.
yeah.
And really listen to, because they're so short, you can listen to them again and
Over and
again
over and over
and again,
again. Yeah.
so that you
And it's
begin
like your
to take it
version
in.
of brainwashing into like cleaning, brain
Hey,
cleaning, something
hey,
positive.
I'm washing your brain. Yeah, that's right. I'm washing. I want your brain to be washed.
Washed from the
It's
crap.
dirty right now. It's full of news and
Yes,
gloom and
yes,
possibility. I want
yeah,
to wash it clean so
yeah,
that possibility can live, can sit, can
yeah.
be. That's what I want to do.
I
Take
love it.
clips. They're
Love it.
awesome.
And the actual YouTube channel is called Melvin C. Barrett, because
Mervyn C. Barrett. Thank you.
Mervyn, sorry, I keep saying Melvin. Mervyn C. Barrett, and I'll put the URL in for the YouTube channel in the comments as
Awesome.
well.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
if anybody is has any questions whatsoever for either myself or Mervyn, please leave them leave them in the comment section. We'll get back to you and answer those questions as soon as we can. As soon as I've edited and got them out there, got this recording out there, and this is like, this is incredible. I mean, what you're saying, I totally resonate with, because I've been a coach for a long time, and everything you're saying and pulling out, but you say it with such conviction and inspiration, and
No,
it's
no,
like,
I live it. I live
and
it.
you live it.
I live it, Jen.
Yeah,
Jen, I'm going to tell you again. I live it.
live it.
Look, there's no. Sometimes it gets to me wife. It gets on her nerves because I want to live it so much.
Yeah,
I want to be so real about living my life
authentically. Yeah,
as a complete work of art
yeah.
in every aspect of it. Sometimes it gets on the nerves.
Okay, so are you impacting her? Is she living authentically? Has she had to make any shifts? And your
Absolutely,
children,
absolutely,
they've all
absolutely.
made shifts.
My
Yeah,
children,
yeah,
like I've gone from being the quote unquote big bad wolf, get to bed at this time, brush your
yeah,
teeth, and all those things that appear to be so central. And it's not to say that they're not,
yeah.
but let me tell you, when you get into a war with your child about
Mm-hmm.
brushing their teeth or not
Yeah.
brushing their teeth, you're now
Something's
living
wrong.
in the land of conditioning.
Yeah, yeah. I remember
You
how. Yeah,
inflict your
yeah,
will
yeah,
on your child like that.
yeah,
Guys, you're living in the land of conditioning.
yeah.
Please hear me correctly. It's not a judgment on anybody. It's an observation that I've seen for myself through my youngest child, she's 12-year-old. She gets the most benefit from me being who I am now. I mean, they all
Mhm.
say, the youngest one's the baby and yada, yada, and the rest of it. But my youngest one, from me, she gets unconditional love
Mm.
as a 12-year-old, which when children are tiny little babies,
You
we
do
give them unconditional love.
anyway. Yeah.
You're compelled to. It's part of brain wiring,
Mm.
especially for the female who carried that awesome package for 9 months.
Mm.
But as they begin to get older, we begin to start thinking that the most important thing is the principle, or we go into our future of that child in front of us right now, and knowing what we know about our lives and brushing your teeth, and that you could get rotten teeth, we project all of that onto the child.
Yeah.
That's a reasoning that they can't argue against. And then we bring some judgments in when they say, well, I don't want to do it right now. Well, that means you're dirty, you're nasty, or sometime in the future you're going to lose all your teeth. No, they're not. No.
It's putting our conditioning personality on them.
If they didn't brush their teeth ever, then after some good few years, decades, the teeth start to,
rot.
Deteriorate.
Yeah.
But if they're regularly brushing their teeth, if they're regularly doing that, and they slip one day or 2 days, like we've all done, and our teeth have not falling out, if we help them to get to the place where they see for themselves,
absolutely,
as opposed to when we tell them the benefits of it, they'll brush their teeth forever.
Exactly. With mine, it was always
they do it anyway, but they brush their teeth forever from the place of being empowered to do it. Not from the place of, I do this because I'm a robot. My mum says I'm a good person if I brush my teeth. I'm a bad person if I don't. That pass on to your children. And no.
It's all about asking them questions and treating
I'm going in a bit deep here, Jen.
It's all about asking them questions and treating them like mini adults, reasoning with them. Okay, so what would you think will happen if you don't brush your teeth? And get them to understand and bring out their own answers. What would you think will happen if you don't go to bed early? What do you think would happen if this is how I brought my boys up, and now they're doing really incredible, they've got their own lives and they're doing incredibly well, they're coming from a back of, okay, I'm empowered to choose the direction I want for my life, not just go through the motions of going to school.
Because mum thinks it's the best thing for me, or dad thinks it's the best thing for me.
Exactly. So Mervyn, listen, we've come to the top of the hour, I believe. I'm lost track of time. I'm fascinated. I can listen to you all day. So
I've literally just got going. There's so much more.
So therefore, we've got to come to your workshop on the 30th of June, is it?
Saturday, the 30th of June.
Saturday, 30th of June. I'm afraid I won't be here. I'll be in California with my boys. But I'll be back to maybe come to the others. And if you're going to have them recording... September. So yes, I'll be back for that. And it'd be great if you got your talks recorded as well, because that'll be amazing to spread around the world, not just for the people in the room. So well done you. Well done for the transition from where you were to where you are now, sharing your gifts with the world. We need more people like you to be out there helping other people to be like you, and me as well, so that the world can become a better place. So thank you so much. And yes, please subscribe to Mervyn's YouTube channel and help him to spread the word as well. And if you want to work with me as a coach as well, I offer one-to-one coaching. I offer a Dharma alignment session, and I help my clients to achieve their most wanted desires for their life and their business, as well as us coaches do. And you leave the session with a 10-day plan of action so that you can move from being stuck to being irresistible. And I'm sure that Mervyn will do an amazing job with his 1-hour session that he's offering as well. So if you want to know more about me, please go to my website, which is jenniferbeaumont-white.com. And you'll see the link in the description below. And please subscribe to my channel, because I've got more inspiration, more information, and more interviews, the BU interviews. I've got this, I think this is about the 5th one now, of people who are doing it their way, changing the world, doing what they love, and being their authentic selves, which we all are supposed to be. And we're supporting each other to do that. So thank you again, Mervyn. This has been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, good luck for the future. And yeah, please, I'd love to maybe get you back next year and see how your business has grown and how you've
Love
impacted the
to.
world. So
I'd
thank you
love
so
to.
much. Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jen. You're awesome, awesome coach.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Great.